Hello. There-
Well, there. Hello.
My goodness, a little gentle rain in the background.
It's
Hello. Welcome to the Chattanooga FC pregame live show presented by Workshop. I'm James Dawson.
and now I'm Charlie Milburn. We're coming to you live as we prepare to take on New Amsterdam FC tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, in what is going to be our last regular season game of the fall season. 3 points are on the line. Win, and we're top of the table. Lose, and we stay where we are in second place. But come on, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to be number one. So that's what we're going to go for tonight. And yeah, big game tonight, James.
It is. It is. And as we hear that rain falling in the background, if you can't make it tonight in person, go ahead and tune into our live stream, which, as you know, we always have the game live streamed, and it's on mycuju.tv. So thanks to everyone who is coming out tonight. I saw there was a large section blocked off already from fans, so we're excited to see that. I've got the fans walking in behind me here, or trickling in for tonight's weekday game. So if you can be here, fantastic. You can still grab a ticket. And if you can't, please enjoy from home on MyCuju.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot of guys. Chattanooga FC and Chattanooga Brewing Company have a happy hour that's going on. So we may have a lot of fans that are over right next door at CBC enjoying some discounted pints, so to speak, and will be making their way over. So
Might have some media headed that way to join them. Who knows?
You never know. Hey, it's always good to limber up before the game, right? So tonight we've got a great show. In addition to James and myself, we're going to have standout forward Caleb Jackson, who's going to be here. We're going to talk to him about his season and his path to becoming a professional. We're going to get a sneak peek at the starting 11 and more, so stay tuned. Before we do that, though, Chattanooga FC would like to extend a huge thank you to our friends at Dos Bros. They are our post-match meal provider this evening. Eat local, ball local. And if you have not been to Dos Bros, there are several locations all over town. They are spectacular. I don't know, James, if you've had a chance to go, but my family and I thoroughly enjoy the Dos Bros.
I tweeted at them because I didn't realize they were local. And I was like, man, I like my local tacos. And they're like, yeah, we're Chattanooga. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, that's the awesome thing about them is that they tweet you back. Like you can say, hey, this guacamole is possibly the best guacamole that I've ever had. And they'll say, yep, thank you. We know. Yeah, Dos Bros is great. On the subject of food, we also want to make sure that we give an extra shout out to Bantam and Biddy. They were our post-game sponsors last Saturday for the historic win from New York Cosmos. So a big thank you to Bantam and Biddy for keeping our players well-nourished and full.
And just a heads up, our bike partners here, it's the Bike Chattanooga. If you guys are familiar, there's these bike stations all over town. Yeah. They've got both the pedal as hard as you can bikes and my preferred electric. If you guys have not tried the electric assist bicycles, they are offering a $5 24-hour pass. Okay?
It's huge.
Go check out the city. This is COVID approved. Get out on the Greenway, get out on the Riverwalk, see the whole town, bike to see some of our awesome breweries. But anyways, if you want to take advantage of that, use the Cycle Finder app. That's Cycle Finder. It'll show you a map of all the locations, or you can use the Transit app, whichever you've got on your phone, and use the discount code CFC Game. It's all caps CFC and then capital G, lowercase AME. And that's going to be valid through the 18th. So this week, do it by Friday. Get out there and ride around. If you have any more questions, you can go to Bike Chattanooga /access-passes and learn more there.
Perfect timing. Hurricane Sally will be blowing through overnight, so it's going to be beautiful. A nice, good start to the weekend on the 18th. Get out there and check out your electric bike. Go bike the hills and enjoy the beautiful scenic city. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Well, to start things off, let's talk about our previous match. So on Saturday, if you were not with us or did not watch us on MyCuju TV, we finally broke the cycle with a huge 2-1 win over New York Cosmos. That's going to be forever remembered in the history books. We had a very timely and very important penalty kick goal from Darwin Lom and an absolute screamer in the 83rd minute. Still seeing it replay in my head from Clayton Adams. So, James, help me break this match down. What did you think about this match on Saturday?
Well, I think we played really, really smart and with a lot of resilience. To go down against a team that had controlled possession. So the first half, the Cosmos were content to hang back and let our forwards and midfielders extend themselves. And then when we were spaced out, take advantage. You saw a team that clearly, has played in this professional development for a long time. They were very well drilled, and they just let us get tired, and they snuck their goal in there. If you remember, honestly, from the match, super wet. It had been raining. We'd had a lightning delay. Cross came in. Keeper couldn't hold it, and then defender and forward coming together at the back post there. It's one of those ones where you see the striker from the Cosmos kind of running away, shaking his head like, I didn't really, hey.
Right.
And so to be down and feel like you were down, not unfairly, it's part of the game. It happens. We got a PK, right? And I've been on the losing side of PKs before with the Cosmos. So, we got that PK back to tie it up. But what I saw out of Clayton Adams, I mean, that's the dream. That's the worldie. That's the one where, yes, put it on SportsCenter. I saw like 100 likes on tweets about that. What a moment for him, especially as a first time with the team. Coming on as a sub late in the game, you're literally put on the field to let your pace affect the game. And to do your job like that, I mean, he must have felt incredible. Did you have any last thoughts? I mean, we've watched ourselves lose to this team. What did it feel like to win, Charlie?
It was, I'll tell you, if you've been a CFC fan for a while, which of course both of us have, we're very familiar with playing in the rain. We're very familiar with rain delays. And this game had all the pieces to be one of those games where just things fall apart. You've got, the fans were kind of getting down because they were soaking wet and they had been waiting for an hour. But still excited, of course, because it's the first game back. So you had that. On top of that, you had kind of the dirty goal to send them up 1-0. Not something that really anybody could have been in the right place in the right time. Even a fat old man like me could have scored in that situation. But it had all the opportunity. All the pieces were there for CFC just to say, like, you know what, not our day. Let's just head into the tournament. Get this game against New Amsterdam on Wednesday. Try to get them again, but it didn't happen. And that's one of the things that I really love about this team this year, is that there is no quit in this team. It doesn't matter who it is. There's somebody that's going to find a way to get some points out of the match. And once it was funny because I saw that back line for the Cosmos torment Darwin Lom the whole first half. You could see he was visibly frustrated, and that's either going to go one of two ways. Either Darwin's going to get revenge, or he's going to get a red card. One of those two ways. And which it was wonderful to see the other side. And then Clayton Adams. I mean, have you ever seen someone just channel Ronaldo, Messi, just this World Cup level skill, and the way that he just kicked it into turbo mode, grabbed the ball, shifted to his left, and just fired a rocket from outside the area that just hit the top corner. No one is stopping that. De Gea is not stopping that. No world-class keeper is stopping that goal, you couldn't describe it. And then just the fact that it's Cosmos just adds to it. Our first win ever against them. And so it puts us theoretically with tonight's match that we're just about to talk about, it puts us in the driver's seat. If we win tonight against the lowest ranked team in the East, we go up to Detroit for the championship tournament in the driver's seat. And, that's what every team wants to do. And so yeah, it was safe to say I enjoyed the match thoroughly.
It'll be a good test of class to be able to come out and put all that effort in versus the team you have to play up for, and then to not slip when you're taking on a team that you might look at and say, oh, it's a shoo-in. We've seen that time and time again. You think you got it in the bag going in, and your mentality's off. So it'll be good to see what they bring to this game in tonight's match. So using that as a segue here. Let's talk a little bit about the game, the team we're playing against, and we'll dive into the lineup that we're going to put out.
Yeah, absolutely. So tonight's match is against New Amsterdam FC. They traveled down from New York City. So they're one of what will be 3 NISA teams that will be in New York City. So if you think about the Premier League, they've got 5 or 6 Premier League teams in the city of London. So NISA's kind of doing something similar there in New York City, both with the Cosmos, New Amsterdam FC, and the New Jersey Teamsters, who are going to be starting next year or maybe the year after. But anyway, the club New Amsterdam was founded in April of this year, brand new club. And so like a lot of NISA clubs, New Amsterdam has placed a lot of emphasis on being a community-focused club. And you can see that if you follow them on social media, which you definitely should. They're a great follow. They have tons of personality, tons of that Manhattan personality that you hear so much about, and they're a fun club to follow. And so it's going to be interesting to see how we develop.
It is a good follow. I would liken them to maybe an East Coast version. They kind of remind me of the Roots.
Very much so.
Not going to talk about the Roots right now. Bite my tongue. But it's been a tough year for them to get out of the blocks. I mean, to have lost all the games they played, to be at the bottom of the table. I think they're going to have to come out tonight and show why they're here. And that's an exciting opportunity for them. This is a bottom of the table versus close to top of the table match. It's one where we are going to get their best shot, and there's no reason why they shouldn't just, throw caution to the wind and come at us and really see what they're made of in a last game of the season. I think of the Premier League on the last day, you never know what to expect.
That's right.
Last day of the season with the team fighting for a spot. So those are my thoughts on this game. But we talked about them, and we talked about how we played versus the Cosmos. What do you see us putting on the field tonight?
I think it's going to be interesting. Last Saturday when we did our pregame show, we talked about the fact that the Cosmos were coming from a Wednesday game to a Saturday game, and how would they perform, and what product would we see on the field? And so I feel like we're going to see something very similar. Or that's the same question, I guess. Of course, for us, we're being on the receiving end of a win. That Saturday to a Wednesday, doesn't seem like such a short turnaround. So we'll definitely see. It'll be interesting to see. But let's get to the starting 11. So tonight's starting 11 is brought to you by Trey Nelms State Farm. So we're switching things up tactically, and I'm interested, James, to get your thoughts on this. We have been playing all season with a back 3. Tonight, we're going to be playing with a back 4. And so we'll have Alec Reddington back in between the sticks as the goalkeeper. He will be fronted by Sean Russell on the left, Nick Spielman and Richard Dixon in the center, and then Ryan Marcano on the right. The midfield is going to be comprised of Juanito Hernandez, our captain, who's going to be captaining the team as well again tonight, David Coloco and Sean Hofstadter. Then up front, we are going to have 2 wingers. We're going to have Topher Marshall And Darwin Lom is back playing a little bit of a different role. Instead of a striker, he's going to be playing on the left-hand side. And then up front is going to be the magic man himself, Zeka. So, James, initial reactions. What do you think about this lineup?
So I think this is a lineup that's designed to attack. I obviously haven't done a full scout on our opponent tonight. The wing backs have given us exceptional width when we've played with the 3 in the back or the hybrid 5 and had those wingers really running at them. But when I see this lineup, I see us going from having the 2 up top to saying, hey, let's have 3. I definitely expect to see Ryan pushing up. We know he's got wheels on the defensive side. Actually, any of the guys in the back, Sean, being able to push the ball up. So I wouldn't be surprised if I saw us kind of slant to a back 3 if one of those wing channels is open for one of those players, because coach knows they're very capable to take the ball down the wings with width. But I think it's going to all be about putting the pressure on them and keeping it there and keeping 3 guys up in their face to harass their back line, not let them get any established possession, not let them play out of the back, make them sky it and win all the balls out of the air. So that's my first take when I see this. I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming too much. What do you think, Charlie?
No, I think that's great. That's great feedback. That's great analysis. The one thing that's going to be a question to me is this team, with the exception of just maybe 1 or 2 players, and of course the formation is different, but the team is basically the same as Saturday. I'm curious to see if we get up maybe a goal, maybe 2 goals, certainly hopefully 3 goals. Will Fuller start switching out this squad to give some of the guys who are starting on the bench some minutes so they can loosen up their legs? But then also, we've got some of these guys like Zeka, like Juanito, like Richard, who have played every single game for us. And we're going into a championship tournament where all eyes are going to be on that trophy. So is Fuller going to see this team out for the full 90 or for the, traditionally the full 70 where you start making your substitutions, or is he going to start pulling guys early? I think that's going to be a question for me. But I agree. I love the attack and basically moving that back forward kind of gives us at least some extra cover back there, which will hopefully work out successfully for us. So. But tonight we are joined by a very special guest. We have got forward Caleb Jackson here, who is currently out with a minor injury, but he had a stellar first half of the season, was just the goal-scoring machine for us for a couple of games there. So we are excited to talk to him. Without further ado, let's welcome Caleb Jackson.
Hey, how are you guys?
There he is.
Caleb, glad to have you on the show, man.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Can you quickly give us an update on your injury? What did you pick up? What's the timeline on that?
Yeah, I fractured my fibula the first game against the Michigan Stars. Kind of went up for a header and came down on my leg the wrong way. So I just recently actually got out of the boot, kind of been easing back into things and as well as training. But I'm going to be going down to Michigan, so I'm excited for that.
Very nice. It's almost like a secret weapon. We're going to have you right when we need you the most up in Detroit. So tell us a little bit about your soccer journey. How did you get started? What was that like?
Okay. Well, honestly, my older sister played soccer, so that's kind of how I got started. And I just kind of played ever since then. I was about 5 years old, just grew up playing. And then when I was about a freshman in high school, I kind of got this feeling like I'm kind of actually getting kind of good at this thing. So I started to take it more serious. Ended up going to Rockhurst University, a Division II school in Kansas City. After that, kind of just went on trial at different places and ended up in South Georgia Tormenta last season. This was my first professional season. Ended up hurting my knee. I tore my meniscus, so I was out for like the last 8 weeks of the season, which was unfortunate. I was just making my way into the lineup. But, yeah, Coach Fuller called me, gave me a chance, and I ran with it. I've enjoyed my time here, and I really liked it.
Very cool.
So it sounds like you were in high school and you started to realize, hey, I'm gonna stand out here. You know, what kind of ceiling do you want to put on this? I mean, you're a professional soccer player. Where do you want to take this?
I want to take it as far as possible. Obviously, the MLS is definitely in my goal for sure, but beyond that as well. Yeah, I just want to see as far as I can go, honestly.
So tell us a little bit more about that conversation between you and Coach Fuller, where you made the decision to come to the Scenic City and play for CFC. What was that like? How did you get here?
Yeah, so actually, I was on trial with St. Louis FC, who was Jeremy used to be the GM for. So that's kind of how I knew him. And he reached out to Coach Fuller. Coach Fuller gave me a call, and we kind of talked about things. But I was injured when Coach Fuller wanted me to come down and train with the guys. So he kind of just offered me out of his blind gut. And, yeah, I got to thank him for that. And I guess it worked out well.
I'd say so. So Caleb, what's your favorite moment so far from this season?
Favorite moment?
Because I've got one.
Um,
So I want to hear what you think.
I think it's got to be the goal last game. I mean, that was incredible. To win, the first ever win against the Cosmos for Chattanooga, I know that was huge for the fans and everybody here. And Clay, too, I know that was huge for just him. That was his first time actually getting to go at things, and he played really well.
Give us a little bit of a behind the curtain. Tell us what that's like for a guy like Clayton. You guys have been practicing side by side, battling it out, and to see him in the locker room after the game, after he's gotten that first goal. Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, as a professional, your first goal you never forget, and for him, that's one that that's incredible. Honestly, weak foot, top 90 to game winner. I mean, that as a kid. So, I mean, I'm happy for him. The whole team's excited for him, and we hope we get more of those this season.
Weak foot. Man, I hope he told the goalie that after the game when he was shaking hands. Hey, weak foot. What do you think? So there was the goal that you scored off that Coloco assist. I was like in that corner when I saw that ball. There was nowhere else that ball could have been placed. I mean, he put it in there like Tom Brady, but you had to control that with the defender on your shoulder and the keeper coming out. That was a finish where I'm thinking, man, you fill this place with stands or with fans in the stands. Everybody's going to be going nuts.
No doubt.
Right?
Yeah.
So Caleb, what kind of advice would you have for some of the CFC Academy players that are watching you play and seeing the team play?
I would kind of just tell them to train the little things. You can always get better at the little things when it comes to soccer, just passing, shooting, technical ability. It's all the same as you get higher into the game. You need to be able to have technical ability. And work hard. I mean, don't let your opponent outwork you. Give it all you got, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's great advice. Fundamentals first.
Fundamentals.
Yeah. Tell us about your impressions of just the landscape of lower league soccer right now. We've got NISA that are expanding, adding teams. Give us your thoughts on kind of what the future holds for lower league soccer.
I think it's on the rise here. I'd like to see it get higher like it is in other league countries as far as like Europe. But I think it is kind of getting better as far as more teams are becoming more popular across the world, and we're getting like bigger fan bases, especially here in Chattanooga. I was surprised at how many fans we actually have overseas. It was pretty cool. Yeah, last year with my Tormenta, I played in USL League One. I had like 8 teams. I think this year they have like 12. So, I mean, I think the lower leagues are really expanding and trying to get like the younger kids into the game so that it can kind of help grow the game in the United States.
Who is your international? If you had to go Premier League, La Liga, League One. Who do you like? Who's your club?
My club is definitely Manchester United.
Yes. We're 2 for 2, baby.
We got to talk to
Love it,
Sean.
man.
We got to get some Arsenal fans on here. I'm starting to feel left out.
We do have a few Arsenal fans.
You
on the
and
team.
Alec, man.
Yeah, me and Alec and Brian, but Ment's a Red Devil fan as well.
Of course, I knew he had his head on straight. You can just tell.
Caleb, quick thoughts on that third kit, that Manchester United third keeper kit, the zebra kit.
Oh yeah, it's different. It's different.
You're being very kind.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
different.
Hey, they debuted that on David Beckham, which is cheating because I don't think he's bad on that guy.
Everything looks good.
You know
on
what I
David
mean? Wear
Beckham.
trash.
That is true. That is true.
All right. Well, Caleb, thank you so much. We appreciate your time tonight. We know you got to get back to it. We're 30 minutes from kickoff. So we wish you a speedy recovery. We cannot wait to see what happens up in Detroit. And I wish you best of luck in the future and can't wait to watch.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Caleb.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes. So, great interview. Loves the right club. It just makes sense sometimes, you know, Charlie? So here's what we got. You guys have seen it. It dropped on social media. We've got an alternate keeper kit, and this is not like the third kit for Manchester United.
Oh, you've got it. Oh,
This
my
thing,
gosh.
there we go. This thing is
Beautiful.
absolutely fantastic. They nailed it.
Yep.
They absolutely nailed it. The font for the numbers, the material here is just gorgeous. Got the crest with the Volkswagen. So listen, you guys know you can always pick this stuff up. It's shop.chattanooga.fc.com. This beautiful jersey, as well as the pink, will be on there for our keeper jerseys. Again, go check that out. Shop.chattanooga.fc.com. What do you think? Would you wear this?
I would wear that to a wedding. I would wear that anywhere. I mean, it's beautiful. Sean Burney and Paul Rustand and some of the other guys at Widget and Stone, the masterminds behind the jersey designs, they really nailed it this year. Partnering with Hummel has been a treat. And yeah, they're beautiful. You can't. I won't say anything. I won't say anything. Here, look over here. Look on this side of the screen. Nothing to see here. But they can't go wrong. They're beautiful jerseys, and yeah, everybody's looking good.
Well, that's all we've got for tonight. This has been awesome. Don't forget Chattanooga FC versus New Amsterdam FC. It's tonight at Finley. There is still time to get over here, 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you can't be here in person, it's mycuju.tv. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm James Dawson.
And I'm Charlie Milburn. We'll see you on the pitch.
Go CFC.